Welcome to the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the world's most competitive match racing series. During the 8-month season, skippers from all over the world battle it out in the hunt for the ultimate prize, the Alpari World Match Racing Tour trophy. There are thrills, spills, disappointment and joy throughout. So hold on to your hats and enjoy the ride. The tour kicks off at Match Race Germany in the town of Langenhagen, situated 200 kilometres from Munich on the beautiful Lake Constance. The 12 teams sail the Bavaria 40 boats as they compete for €50,000 prize money. All teams will be competing for the Match Race Germany title, but for the 7 tour card holders in attendance, this is also a chance to get off the mark and bag the first points on the road to the world title.
Look, I think our approach to the season obviously is to do as well as we possibly can. These World Match Racing Tours are long seasons and, you know, they put different pressures and different circumstances on different people, and it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds. It's a series that literally anybody can win, and it's when you get in the right zone and get things going for yourself that it really counts, whether you can make it work or not. I think Match Race Germany is an interesting sailing venue. It certainly on the weekend days, a lot of spectators get out and really enjoy the racing here. The conditions can be extremely challenging with wind shifts coming from all which ways. The wind strength often varies from 3 to 4 knots some days, and up to 10 to 15 on other days, and you need to just make the most of the conditions and the circumstances when you're sailing. All I can deal with is what we have to do, and we're out here to race the best we possibly can, and see how that pans out for us. This is a great opportunity to get some points on the board for sure.
4-time world champion and tour veteran Peter Gilmour started the stage well and went on to meet young Kiwi skipper Phil Robertson at the semi-final stage. With the scores tied at 2-all, we join the semi-final between Gilmour and Robertson in its decisive 5th race.
Here comes Phil Robertson, and I think we may actually see a luff from him. He's getting nervous about the presence of Peter Gilmour, and he comes up for a luff here. We're going to see some fireworks at the top of the course. That's the luff. Peter Gilmour responding and very close. I think Peter Gilmour perhaps getting a little bit too close, forced to tack away. And there goes Phil Robertson, a mistake from Peter Gilmour. He goes for the tack. It's going to be a windward hoist for Peter Gilmour. He spins all the way round. He goes for the jibe back.
Coming down a click, Jimmy. Let's go pole away in the zone here for sure. Yep.
Phil Robertson saying pole away. He's certain that he is in the zone. He thinks he has rights coming in here. So that moment of indecision on Peter Gilmour's boat, perhaps opening up the inside of the line for Phil Robertson and his team. A definite mistake by Peter Gilmour and Fred, the tactician on board that boat, opening up this inward angle for Phil Robertson. And he slides around the boat. He slides around the mark, and the panic and confusion, YANMAR Racing, they still have their spinnaker set as Peter Gilmour turns up. The spinnaker is up and their jib is not out as they turn up, and Phil Robertson has the advantage. Oh, amazing crew work there from Yaji and Fuku on the front, wrestling that spinnaker down in mere seconds. But it is Phil Robertson that has snatched that lead back on this first run of this beat. Phil now with a 7-8 boat length lead over YANMAR Racing. He's positioned between the finish and the Japanese engine sponsored powerhouse of match racing, Peter Gilmour, YANMAR Racing.
Jive here, guys.
But it's Phil that's had the better of the day here, and with a comprehensive lead, he does his final jibe in towards the finish. Phil Robertson and his team that come through take the yellow flag, take the nod, and secure the second final against his countryman Laurie Jury. Tremendous sailing from both these teams in this match, but it's Phil Robertson that has the best of it. And we see there a laugh from Phil. I don't think he can believe it.
Finals day at Match Race Germany and no wind. As a result, WAKA Racing's Phil Robertson claimed victory at Match Race Germany, the countback favouring him over fellow Kiwi Laurie Jury.
It's our first tour event we've ever won, so we're over the moon really, and yeah, we're very happy to have won it and learned a lot this week.
Despite victory at Match Race Germany, Phil Robertson gains no tour points as this was not one of his chosen events, gifting Laurie Jury the overall lead after the first event on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Event 2 on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour would take the skippers to the Gyeonggi province in South Korea for the Korea Match Cup. This time the 12 teams will be sailing KM 36 boats as they compete for a $3 million prize purse. One crucial tour card holder was missing from Germany, and at his first tour event of the season, he was here and hungry to begin the defence of his title. Current Alpari World Match Racing Tour champion, Ian Williams.
For GAC Pindar, it's great to have the title under our belt from last year. I actually think it in some ways takes the pressure off. We've proved that we can do it. We don't really have anything in that way to prove, but of course we still have a strong desire to try and win again. It's a great team that, the guys came together really well. It was quite a new team last year. In actual fact, every regatta that we did as a 5, we won last year. Hopefully the team can continue to grow, continue to improve, and we can get stronger and stronger. We feel pretty strong here. We've always been on the podium, but I think it's the only event, apart from the new one in Chicago, that we haven't actually won. So, we feel confident that we can get a strong result. That I guess the key for us is to try and then take that on and actually try and win the thing.
The triple world champion got his season off to a great start, finishing second in the qualifying round and cruising through the knockout rounds, taking the scalps of Peter Gilmour and Torvar Mirsky along the way, defeating them both 3-0. This set up a mouth-watering final against last year's Career Match Cup winner, Bjorn Hansen.
Coming onto port.
Here comes Ian Williams. Bjorn Hansen tacks out. Nothing to pick between these boats as we come up towards the top of the course. So there goes Williams, he's just going to round.
Don't go in there! Don't go in there! Go hoist!
Don't go in there, he shouts.
Ian Williams trying to keep that inside line at his mark clear as Bjorn Hansen rounds. Couldn't be any closer.
Speak to me, Mal.
It's a great hoist from Bjorn Hansen and his team from Sweden.
He's way slow. He's way slow. I'm going to come up now.
Bjorn Hansen, for me, washing off a little bit too much of his speed with that big down. I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve there, and Ian Williams able to eke out a few extra meters at that top mark. Bjorn not making the best of that rounding for me. He has the lead. He can hold on to this lead. He will be leaving with the trophy. 3 times the bridesmaid here at the Korea Match Cup. Ian currently has, within one sailing leg, that thing that he has never won before, the Korea Match Cup.
Oh, a big knot. On
There, disaster strikes for GAC Pindar. That spinnaker in a huge tangle. Somehow they break out what looked like the biggest knot I'd ever seen in my life. In a heartbeat, the spinnaker sets. And it's gained back on GAC Pindar. Bjorn Hansen jibes at the mark now. Is he able to get to a position to attack Ian Williams' breeze? Bjorn goes to jibe. I think he's trying to sucker Williams into coming with. Had a big decision. This the play of the match here.
Yeah.
Bjorn Hansen getting that separation to that right-hand side of the course. Ian Williams electing to carry on. This is the race right here. This is the move that will decide the Korea Match Cup. We see Bjorn Hardesty on the main there. He's holding that in, maximising the flow between the mainsail and the spinnaker as they come back together. But to me, it looks like it's all Bjorn Hansen. Bjorn Hansen, to me, looks ahead.
Yeah.
Bjorn Hansen crossing ahead of GAC Pindar. Oh, the exchanges between these boats. Ian Williams now looking to try and jibe to prevent Bjorn Hansen from crossing. Now for me, Bjorn Hansen here, he has to be cool, he has to be clean. Can he jibe and cross?
He needs to get the room for the mark so he can cross the finishing line, and he's allowed to go on port tack.
So he uses the pin on Bjorn Hansen's boat. He uses the pin to try and get into the finish. We can see the finish line. There's the gun, it's Bjorn Hansen, his team from Sweden, that sneaks in at the pin.
Yeah.
We see the celebrations from his team. Billy punches the air, they all cannot believe it. From nowhere, it is Bjorn Hansen. The team from Sweden sneak around the triple world champion GAC Pindar.
Feels fantastic. I mean, we were 2-0 up and thought we had a good chance to close the game in the third match, but he ended 2 or actually 3 really good starts and came out ahead of us. And coming around the last top mark, we see him having a little bit of problem with his spinnaker set, and said that, okay, this is our chance, let's go for a jibe set. We went for our jibe set and we were a little bit quicker than he was. Well, I looked at the guys and said, what is happening? I think we're winning again. So it was fantastic.
With his first victory of the season, Hansen and Mekonomen Sailing Team claimed joint top spot with the new tour card holder Pierre-Antoine Morvan after 2 events on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Ian Williams and GAC Pindar's second place finish meant that he too clocked up some valuable points on the overall leaderboard. Join us after the break as we head to Scandinavia for the 3rd stage on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, Stena Match Cup Sweden.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to the season highlight show from the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Stage 3 on the tour takes us to the beautiful Swedish island of Marstrand for Stena Match Cup Sweden. 14 skippers, including all 9 tour card holders, would battle it out for the $140,000 prize purse, racing head-to-head in the DS37 match races. Bjorn Hansen on home shores was looking to build on his winning career and extend his lead at the top of the overall leaderboard.
I did my first Match Cup Sweden in 1994, and I just keep loving coming back here. It's starting to get really interesting and important on the tour because guys who have not picked any points yet on the scoreboard are really feeling the pressure and needs to do some good results. For us, who won the last event in Korea and we're in top on the leaderboard, we feel that we really have a good chance here to do some good results. Still, we don't really feel the pressure. We can go here and have some really, really fun days. I would say that it's definitely an advantage to be Swede in Marstrand because it can be up to 10,000 people on the shore. It's almost like playing in a football arena or something like that. We definitely come here to try and win the event. We know that it's 13 other good teams here, so it's going to be very, very hard to win the event. But the way we have started the event and the way we are sailing and the way the guys on board are working, it feels fantastic, and I think we can have a good shot at it, but as I said, it's going to be difficult.
In a strong qualifying round, Hansen clocked 9 wins to meet fellow Swedish tour card holder Johnie Berntsson in what would be a real crowd pleaser of a quarter-final. With Hansen on a 2-0 lead, we join the tie in the 3rd race.
So Johnie Berntsson, I think, getting the better of the starts there. Very risky positioning from him, but him just managing to nip around the bow of Bjorn Hansen. But no, There's the blue flag. That is penalty, Johnny Berntsson. I think the umpire's deciding that that was too close. So he has the lead, but he also has a penalty in this must-win match for him here. So Johnny Berntsson has that right-hand side, he's in phase. But let's not forget, he's a penalty down. So he needs to try and extend. So, possible opportunity to offload his penalty. Johnny Berntsson stays on starboard. It's not round the mark. He's got to be careful. Bjorn very close to be able to get that turn in. His boat's able to spin on a tuppeny. And actually some excellent sailing from Johnny Berntsson. He's able to hold Bjorn Hansen head to wind with his stern. And now lead the turn extensively away. That will buy him a couple of boat lengths. Bjorn Hansen is slow and he's late into the hoist. Some excellent sailing from Johnny Berntsson at the top of that mark to perhaps extend away, snatch a bit of security for himself as they come onto the run. For me, he actually has enough distance to do his penalty already. So Johnny Berntsson coming in from the right-hand side. He managing to offset that penalty in an instant just before the coming together. Bjorn just holding Johnny Berntsson head to wind. Trying to prevent him from getting an inside overlap at the mark.
Hey! 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 He's attacking boat there, guys!
Johnny Berntsson and Bjorn Hansen both simultaneous attacking. I think we'll see a green for that.
But what about the contact, guys?
Bjorn so fired up here. Johnny Berntsson now rounding the mark. Bjorn Hansen now hoisting to follow. Question mark is, how was this overlap formed? Bjorn Hansen diving in at the mark. Johnny Berntsson, I think, believing Bjorn Hansen has no room. And holding and pushing him all the way here. Shock, Johnny Berntsson actually getting a penalty. I think the umpire's deciding perhaps luffing too quickly, or Bjorn Hansen did have room. For me, that perhaps a harsh call on Johnny Berntsson. I think they did enter the two-length circle, perhaps unoverlapped, so Johnny Berntsson going for one final ditch attempt. I think he needs to just focus on building speed and getting out of this top mark. So disaster strikes for Johnny Berntsson, exiting the mark. He was ahead, he'd managed to get rid of his penalty. It was some smooth sailing into this incident. And as he leaves the mark now, he's a behind and a penalty down. So really disaster for the Swede as we come down this final run on what is a must-win match for him. That very costly mistake at the top from Johnny Berntsson has cost him the match. Excellent sailing from Bjorn and his Mekonomen Sailing Team. Congratulations.
Bjorn Hansen was on fire, and even reigning event and tour champion Ian Williams couldn't stop him on his way to the final. Standing in Hansen's way, however, would be 7-time Stena Match Cup Sweden winner Peter Gilmour. Barely putting a foot wrong all competition through, Hansen won the final in a fairy tale victory to extend his lead at the top of the overall tour leaderboard.
It's obviously a great feeling to be at the top of the leaderboard. I mean, that has been our goal to do well on the total tour. But we also know that it's just early stages of the tour, so we need to put up a few more results on the scoreboard, and hopefully we can do a good result next week in Chicago.
With barely a moment's rest, the teams travelled straight to Chicago in the USA for the 4th event on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the Chicago Match Cup. And the Windy City certainly lived up to its name, providing some turbulent weather and some thrilling match racing. Reigning world champion Ian Williams and current tour leader Bjorn Hansen continue to show why they are a force to be reckoned with on this year's circuit, dominating the qualifying rounds. Williams, hungry for his first trophy of the season, went on to book his place in the final with an emphatic semi-final win against young Taylor Campfield from US Virgin Islands. Hansen would still need to beat Australian skipper Jordan Rees though, in order to set up another showdown between this season's two heavyweights.
You guys in 2, 1, attacking.
Straight through it.
Hansen simultaneously tacks, but Jordan Rees has held on to this lead. Well done to the Australian team as they go for their hoist. Big black Alpari World Match Racing Tour Spinnaker, 3 or 4 boat length lead. Now Jordan Rees right in good breeze, extending. Breeze has filled in and Rees is ahead. There's the crucial match for the place in the finals. Oh. Jordan Rees putting in a final jibe before they come to the finish. I can't tell you folks what an upset this is. Jordan Rees, 21 years old. As they come down towards the finishing line, the blue flag says Jordan Rees takes it and is through to the finals.
With his arch rival out of the competition, this would be a great opportunity to close the gap at the top of the overall leaderboard. Disaster struck though with a last-minute change to his crew.
Well, Bill Hardesty's been feeling sick the last couple of days, and we haven't really been sure what it was, but he went to ER this morning, 4 AM, with appendicitis, and he's having an emergency appendectomy today. So obviously he won't be sailing. We obviously wish him a speedy recovery from that. And we will be sailing with Garth Ellingham, one of Phil Robertson's crew. Had a few days in the boats now, and so we all feel a little bit more settled and more confident in the boats, and that should allow us to, hopefully cover the areas that Bill otherwise would have been covering.
Williams is really in the driving seat of this pre-start. Boy, he's done well. Used that starboard advantage.
Got to be faster than him. Let's get it all the way up. Hit our angle, Mal.
No, Rees in bad shape here. Okay, he's going to have to tack away immediately, right, Nathan? As soon as they get around the committee boat, Jordan Rees will have to tack to try and get out of that dirty air.
Looks like Rees might have cranked up a little more on port, okay, so I'll just talk you through this one. It's going to be very close indeed. They've only been racing for about 4.5 minutes. So here we come. It's Williams on starboard, Rees on port, and Rees has put his bow down. It's a small duck by Rees. It is a duck by Rees. So he's going to get in there on starboard, I think, Andy. This is going to be very good. So
work on speed, guys.
Williams is going to go head to wind. Rees is not entitled to go in there. Now Rees puts his bow down.
Okay.
But Williams has to complete. Very well executed by Ian Williams. It's very close. It's very close indeed. Williams is around first, but Jordan Rees only 5 feet behind him. Great work by the Australian team.
So you can see their 2 boat length advantage gains to Ian Williams.
That's the red flag as they come towards the bottom mark.
And we Tacking now. Let's just try and settle it. 2, 1, and press. Oh, yeah, got it. Bow is on, coming down. Go hoist.
Big waves here. White low. Tacking.
Williams. Spinnaker up, that Lotus Spinnaker 2 or 3 lengths ahead of
the pressure's okay this way.
Jordan Rees.
We'll see what Rees can do, but it really will take for Williams to park up from here.
Here they come down towards the finishing line. Ian Williams, Garth Ellingham.
This brings us to the halfway point on the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour, and a strong lead has been forged by Bjorn Hansen and Ian Williams in 1st and 2nd place respectively. But as we already know, anything can happen in match racing, so stay tuned for the next stage on the tour, the St. Moritz Match Race.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control Spot the opportunity. Then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to the season highlights of the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. The next stop on the tour would be the beautiful Swiss Alps for the St. Moritz match race. As we enter the second half of the season, Bjorn Hansen and Ian Williams have racked up a 20-point gap at the top of the overall leaderboard. With Hansen in the #1 spot on 81 points and Williams in second on 77, the pressure was on Williams to really take it to Hansen in Switzerland.
Well, we certainly hope that we can still win overall. It's going to be difficult for us, I think. Bjorn, although it only says 4 points, it's actually quite a big lead.
At the moment, it's us and Ian at the top, but now we're going to focus on our own sailing and don't care about how Ian is doing.
Our calculations are we have to beat him here and we have to beat him in Monsoon Cup and put some boats between us as well, so it's certainly all on for us at this point.
In the final qualifying session, Williams and Hansen found themselves at the wrong end of the scoreboard. Both skippers would meet in the final qualifying flight. The winner would go through, the loser would go out. At this stage in the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, this match could be a decisive moment in the race for the title.
Good start here, Bjorn Hansen with the best of the positioning. Williams looks like he's in trouble. He's going to have to do a full 360 down towards the right-hand end of the line with only 5 seconds to go. Williams is parked, and it's Bjorn Hansen that is powering back towards the line. Some excellent pre-start manoeuvring from Bjorn Hansen in the dying 20 seconds. He has absolutely left Williams standing in the pre-start. Disaster strikes for Williams and GAC Pindar. Now, has this team got what it takes to try and come back? At the moment, it is all Bjorn Hansen. What superb mastery of rules and positioning. As Ian Williams approaches. It's a pretty picture through the camera, but it's not a pretty picture in positional terms for Ian Williams. As he rounds the top mark. He has a massive deficit to make up if he's going to stay in this St. Moritz match racing competition. King of the Mountains twice in his career. This has always been a strong event for Ian Williams. And they have beaten Ian Williams here as they come up to the line. The Spinnakers coming down a little early, but it will make no difference as Bjorn Hansen sails through to take the win. Some celebration there. They know what that means overall. A big moment in this Alpari World Match Racing Tour Championship for 2012. A great performance from Bjorn Hansen. And disaster for Ian Williams and the GAC Pindar team.
We had to win it. We didn't. We just got a little early for the line, and you know, it was a risk. We were going to be over the line, and we had to turn back in the last 10 seconds.
We had a really good start, taking a lead by 4, 5, 6 boat lengths or something like that, and the guys did a fantastic job to find the puffs around the course.
Up the first beat, we just couldn't get the right side of any shift and get some speed on the boat. So obviously we're very disappointed.
It was a great relief crossing the finishing line and being ahead of Ian, because we knew that this is quite important for the championship.
Bjorn's position on the tour is, you know, depending on how he does here, if he makes the final here, I'd say he's pretty much insurmountable. We will count these points into the average points which we will get from Portugal. So yeah, it looks good for us. You know, we'll certainly have to win a couple more regattas, either France or Bermuda and Malaysia. But the problem being, we'll also need him to do badly, very badly in Malaysia. So it'll be a little bit out of our hands, I think.
Hansen, however, failed to capitalise on his chance to significantly increase his lead over Williams. In the end, it was new tour card holder Keith Swinton who went all the way to claim the trophy in Switzerland and become king of the mountain.
St. Moritz match race has been treated to an exhibition of sailing here on top of the world as Keith Swinton and his team, who have sailed superbly in this final, sail down towards the line now, only meters to go. Keith Swinton is in a smile, and it's a rightly deserved smile as the crowds erupt. They hug each other and celebrate a rightly deserved win.
A little bit speechless. It's been a long day, you know, really tough racing, 5 hard races. And, you know, after we lost the 4th one, we thought, oh, maybe it's over now. We're not going to have time to race the final race, and you know, we did. And we just made sure that we, you know, learnt from the mistakes we'd made in the previous races. And obviously, we had a great race in the last race, and you know, to take out the win is just really, really special for us, and you know, very exciting.
Next stop on the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour calendar was to be the south of France. Marseille would play host to the 6th event of the season, Match Race France. Despite poor performances at the St. Moritz Match Cup, Bjorn Hansen and Ian Williams still led the way on the overall leaderboard. The gap between them a mere 6 points. At this stage of the tour, a slip-up by any skipper could cost them the championship. And that slip-up came painfully early for the Swedish team in Marseille. Hansen crashed out of Match Race France in the qualifying round.
I did an enormous mistake before the start, where I told the guys that we were supposed to gate with the yellow flag.
We did the worst rookie mistake you could do, and that's not looking at the papers. That meant that we entered from the wrong side. I've never done that before.
So they penalized us once, and then trying to get in to the box, we tacked too close to Will and earned a second penalty. So that was pretty much the race.
Congratulations to the guys who go through to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, we're not there to join them, but in general, we're all good.
I guess it's me buying the beers tonight for the boys.
This was the breakthrough that the triple world champion had been waiting for. Williams and GAC Pindar seized the opportunity, defeating last year's Match Race France winner Damien Yell in the quarter-finals and St. Moritz Match Race winner Keith Swinton in the semi-finals. As the British skipper geared up for the final against the young Kiwi William Tiller, though, the weather turned and threatened to upset the competition. We join a truly memorable race in the final of Match Race France.
4 seconds to go. It's all action here. William Tiller on the left side, and Ian Williams gets a superb start up at the boat end. The 2 taxis separated to windward. The breeze really in the rain driving down, but it is Williams from Great Britain which has dominated this start, and he leads up on this right-hand side. And William Tiller must win this match to stay in this competition. Tiller the first to get his spinnaker set, and he now has this race lead as we power down the run.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Both boats flat out on the plane. Oh, here comes Williams. He jibes, he sets.
Any drop now, guys, any drop. Well understood, sorry.
And Tiller has his spinnaker down. Williams. Chris Main, I think, on the side of the boat, nearly into the water as we come down to the bottom mark, but managing to stay on. But a messier drop from the 3-time world champion. It is William Tiller that is powering away from the bottom mark. But William Tiller is in a great position to attack as we come down this final run.
Wait, backing out
is do or die now for William Tiller. He has to come back.
Yeah, I know.
He has to try and get some traction in this race. And as the wind drives down, it is Williams' bow that comes through. It is Ian Williams from GAC Pindar that comes through. He claims this race, he claims this final, and he claims Match Race France.
A fantastic win for GAC Pindar here at Match Race France. Monsoon conditions, so good practice for the Monsoon Cup, but great for us on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour now to be up pretty much level with Bjorn Hansen overall and going into Malaysia with a good shot at the title.
Williams' win at Match Race France meant that he had leapfrogged Bjorn Hansen and took the overall lead for the first time on the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour, going into the penultimate event of the season. The 7th stage on the tour would be the Argo Group Gold Cup, taking place in the beautiful natural harbour of Hamilton, Bermuda. It is a unique event on the tour. 20 teams from all over the world take part, sailing the international One Design boats and competing for the coveted King Edward VII trophy, the oldest trophy in the world for this class of boats. Hansen is here, but Williams, along with Johnie Berntsson of the Berntsson Sailing Team, are the only 2 tour card holders taking points at the Argo Group Gold Cup, and they would both be looking to finish well here before the final event, the Monsoon Cup in Malaysia. The 2 tour card holders would go on to meet at the semi-final stage.
Johnny's got a great record here in Bermuda, so I suspect he's probably the favourite, but I think if we can sail like we did yesterday against Adam, then we'll be a good match for him.
Yeah, I think, and especially for us, I mean, Jan and his team is tour leaders, and we can win more on this than he can, so I think we're definitely really keen on winning this race.
Berntsson charging at the moment. Williams going for a luff.
Ooh, close.
And there's start time. Berntsson a lot quicker than Williams. Johnie Berntsson winning the start and now winning the beat. Again, just exploiting the opportunities that Williams has given him. Here goes Williams. He thinks he's across. It's going to be close at the top. But Williams just sliding across the front of Berntsson, and there's the lead change. Williams managing to construct a near perfect beat to come back at Berntsson. He made the best of the extra pressure he had on the left-hand side, and he placed that lead-bound tack to perfection to come back against Berntsson. Williams desperate to try and jibe away, but I think he'll lose the race if he does. He has to try and defend. He has to try and hold Berntsson off to that right-hand side, but the spinnaker is collapsing. And Berntsson has a march on here. Williams going for a last luff. Now his spinnaker resets. He's now air behind, crucially. And if Williams can build here, if he can hold, Berntsson is going for the roll around the front, and he's got it. Johnie Berntsson has rolled Ian Williams on the final approaches to this finish line. Only meters separating him and his place in the final here at the Argo Group Gold Cup. A fantastic performance from Johnie Berntsson and his team.
Through to the final of the Argo Group Gold Cup, Berntsson would come up against the unknown quantity of Taylor Camfield from the US Virgin Islands. Camfield defeated the Swedish skipper to become the first non-tour card holder to win an event this season.
Taylor Camfield from the US Virgin Islands. He is going to win the Argo Group Bermuda Gold Cup. And as the sounds ring out across the harbour, they celebrate.
Going into the final event in Malaysia, it's extremely tight at the top of the table, with Bjorn Hansen leading Ian Williams by just 2.25 points after the skipper's top 4 events had been counted. Join us after the break as one skipper is crowned champion at the grand finale of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the Monsoon Cup.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to the highlights of the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. The tour has reached its climax as we head east to Malaysia for the grand finale, the Monsoon Cup. It's here in Kuala Terengganu that the overall tour winner will be crowned, and with it collect a whopping $75,000 in prize money. Going into the event, it's the 3 teams at the top of the tour leaderboard that have the strongest chance of taking the title. Bjorn Hansen of Mekonomen Sailing Team, Ian Williams of GAC Pindar, and Keith Swinton of Black Swan Racing. You can't ignore the likes of 4-time world champion Peter Gilmour, but these 3 are certainly worth watching. It came down to the final day of qualifying to see who would make it through to the knockout rounds. In the end, it was Peter Gilmour who qualified top of the group, but not before making an important announcement. Record four-time ISAF match racing world champion and multiple America's Cup campaigner Peter Gilmour announced his retirement. He'd be leaving the Alpari World Match Racing Tour for good and hanging up his gloves on the professional match racing circuit. It was, of course, a tough decision.
Well, the main reasons why I've decided to retire is obviously I'm not getting any younger. Next month I'll be 53, and you know, it just seemed to be a good time to step aside from the Alpari World Match Racing Tour at this stage and not to go for a tour card for the 2013 season. I think it certainly is an age factor that influences the fact that you don't win as many events as we used to, but also I think it's a sign of the times where the younger sailors are starting a lot younger than we did. I mean, I didn't start match racing until I was 27, 28 years old, and now they're starting 18, 19, you know, and talented by winning world championships by 23, 24, I think was at a Monoprio. And so from that point of view, the game has certainly changed quite dramatically, and you know, I've been hanging on by my fingernails for the last little while, and you know, it really just seemed an appropriate time to sort of step aside from that now. I think on the World Match Racing Tour, the big memories, there's a few of them. The fun of just starting and beginning, I still remember it like yesterday. I mean, it really meant a lot. I'll still be around, you know, you won't be able to get rid of me that easy, but yeah, look, I'll be around, but I think I'll take a break for, you know, at least for 6 months or so, just to, you know, might go off and do a little bit of farming in the interim time. I've got a few cattle that need me to chase after them.
Title challengers Bjorn Hansen and Ian Williams both comfortably progressed to the knockout rounds, meaning the two 2012 Tour heavyweights were neck and neck in the race for the title. Hansen had second pick in the quarter-final boat draw. A Hansen versus Williams matchup would see the World Championship title decided right here, but would he be brave enough?
Well, we decided that we wanted to go a match for the world title, so we raced Ian Williams. If we don't choose Ian and lose the quarter-final and lose the chance for a World Championship title on that, we will never forgive ourselves. So we said that we should just go for Ian and at least give it a real title fight.
The winner between Bjorn Hansen and our team, GAC Pindar, will take home the world title, so it's obviously a huge matchup for us.
We're looking forward to this so much. I mean, we have a really good chance to become the world champions.
With the Alpari World Match Racing Tour champion crowned, all eyes were now focused on who would win the Monsoon Cup. Having defeated Hansen, Williams came up against Phil Robertson in the semi-final. The young Kiwi tour card holder denied Williams the double though, defeating the new tour champion 2-0.
As Robertson comes through, he takes the win.
In the second semi-final, Peter Gilmour of YANMAR Racing sailed the final race of his illustrious career, as Argo Group Gold Cup winner Taylor Camfield booked his place in the Monsoon Cup final. This set up a final battle between the promising young US Virgin Islander and the Match Race Germany winner Phil Robertson.
This is the Monsoon Cup now. Taylor Camfield has to loop around here in this final 19 seconds. He doesn't need to rush, he needs to focus on this turn, get it in. He will win the right-hand side. Phil Robertson will be starting on the left. Here comes Camfield. Now Robertson tacking back. How this is unexpected. Camfield has his bow down.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
That's the start gun sounds. Robertson ducking his stern.
Trim. Come on! That's all blue there.
Now are we going to see an umpire call? There's the green flag.
And up. Big hike.
So the umpire's deciding, no mistake, Camfield doing a nice job of making it so Robertson wouldn't lay the boat. That's why we saw him dial there, and we saw Robertson then responding and having to tack at the boat end. And now it is Taylor Camfield leading off to this left-hand side. And this is Taylor Camfield. His bow is pointing at the finish line. Nothing can stop him from here. You can hear them starting to celebrate. They punch the air. This is a dream come true.
Oh!
It is Taylor Canfield claiming the Monsoon Cup.
Yeah!
Slip of the tongue, but it makes no difference. It will be Canfield's name on the trophy as he sails through the line.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a shock, but you know, we were sailing well the whole event, so to be honest with you, it doesn't really come to that much of a shock that we're able to kind of make it all the way to the finals and then finally, you know, win the Monsoon Cup. So we're really ecstatic about it.
So after 8 stages, 9 tour card holders, 5 different event winners over 8 months, the 2012 Alpari World Match Racing Tour has been a roller coaster ride of top-class match racing. And after all that, there can only be one winner, Ian Williams and GAC Pindar of Great Britain.